Okay, in about 5 minutes, we're going to start up live yoga with Alberta. See you in a bit. Okay, we are on.
So it's not working for you?
Yeah, I thought I did everything to make it go live, but I'm not seeing it live on our Merle. Oh no, there it is.
There it is, there it is, there
Okay.
it is. Go, go. Hi.
Hi.
All right. It wasn't there before. Yes.
We just needed his presence.
Yes. Okay.
Am I on?
You are on.
Ooh, I'm blurry. Oh, that's because I don't have glasses on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Yoga at the Library. If you've never practiced yoga before, always remember to take care of your own body. So if there's anything at all that I am doing that does not feel good to you in any way, just don't do it. If there's anything that you don't like, don't do it. So, here we go. Let's go ahead and start. You can, if you want to sit in a chair, that's fine. You can do that. Or you can start by lying down on your mat. Get as comfortable as you can be. And give yourself permission to be present right here, right now. Check your shoulder blades underneath. And you can have your knees bent, like I have mine right now, or you can lengthen out through your legs. Resting your hands beside your body or on your belly, any place that's comfortable for you. Do I need to move? There we go.
You need to move back.
I need to move back, okay. So allowing yourself to be present right here, right now. Take a nice, gentle inhale. There we go, I can see me. And a nice, slow, long exhalation. And do that again a few times. Noticing where you feel the breath move your body. If you will place your right hand on your lower belly and your left hand on your upper chest, you can feel whether the air is coming down to your belly or staying high in the chest area. Which is better? The belly. Nice, long, smooth breaths in and out through the nose or in through the nose and out through the mouth. Allowing that nervous system to calm down. Allowing your body to begin to relax. And take another nice long inhale and a nice slow exhalation. And then maybe set an intention for your practice this morning. Maybe that's an intention of gratitude. I'll share, that's my intention this morning, just being grateful. And let's take a nice long stretch. Inhaling, take your arms to the back of the room, legs to the front of the room. Nice long stretch. And you can move in any direction that you might feel like moving. Good. And then release the arms back down beside the body. Good. Bend your knees and place your feet on the floor, just about hip width apart. Resting your hands anywhere that's comfortable for you. Take a nice gentle inhale. This is probably something you won't really be able to see, but as you're exhaling, you're pulling the belly and the low back into the floor. So your low back's flat on the floor. It's a little movement, and then as you're inhaling, you're just releasing that. Not lifting the hips, you're just pulling the belly in as you exhale, and releasing it as you inhale. Back and forth, releasing a little tension from your low back If you're sitting in a chair, you can just press your back up against the back of your chair. As you exhale, you're beginning to curl that tailbone up towards your belly button just a little. Good. One more time. And just releasing that. So now you have a natural curve in your low back. Your low back might just be lifted away from the floor a little bit. And we're going to go up to the arms and shoulders. Inhale and take both arms up and back towards the back of the room. As you exhale, bring the arms back down beside your body. Inhaling up and back. And exhaling back down. If your hands don't touch the floor either direction, that's just fine. Synchronizing the move with the breath. One more time. Good. And then release that all back down to the floor. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Keeping your left foot on the floor, pull your right knee into your chest. Holding that right knee with your right hand, begin to circle that knee in the hip joint. And take that the other direction. Good. Bring that back to stillness. Pull the knee into the chest. And let's lengthen out through the left leg. Take it down to the floor. So wrap both hands around that right knee. Just pull it in. Couple of breaths here. And bend your left knee. Set that foot back on the floor. Take the right foot up towards the ceiling. Wrapping your hands around the back of the thighs. Holding your leg up there. Shoulders relaxed. And spread your toes. Curl your toes. Wiggle your toes around. Begin to point the foot one and back. Pointing and flexing. As you point, curl the toes. As you flex, spread the toes. Ooh, notice where you feel the stretch. Circle your ankle around. Throughout practice, you might hear some cracking or creaking, crunching. I'll try and be quiet. Now, if you hear that, it's okay, unless you have pain. Now, bend at the knee and place this right ankle across the left knee or the left thigh and flex the toes back, allowing this right hip to open a little bit. Make sure you're breathing. And we're going to take both hands, reach down and take the outside edge of your right knee, take it up and over towards your left shoulder. But try and keep those shoulders relaxed. You're just stretching. You might feel that through the right hip or the right glute. Good, and then go ahead and release it all the way back down to the floor. Pull the left knee into the chest, keeping the right foot on the floor. Circle that knee around in the hip joint. For any of you that might have a titanium hip, I'm not sure what the answer is. If that's something you probably should ask your doctor. I think it would be okay to do a little range of motion with your hip. But again, I'm not a doctor, not a surgeon, so you might want to ask that. Pull that knee back into your chest. Hold it with both hands, lengthening out through the right leg. Relax your shoulders. Bend that right knee, place the foot back on the floor, and then take the left foot up to the ceiling, wrapping your hands again around the back of that thigh. Spread your toes, curl your toes, and wiggle those toes around. Begin to point and flex your foot. Circle the ankle. And let's take that the other direction. Good. Bend at the knee, placing this left ankle, my body parts here, over the right knee or the right thigh, allowing that left hip to open a little bit. And then with both hands, reach around that left knee and take it up and over towards your right shoulder. Pretty good way to stretch the glute muscles if you've been doing a lot of work and your glute muscles, your butt muscles are sore. It's a good way to stretch them. Good. And then release that all the way back down. Yeah. So if you have a tie or a strap or a towel, something that you can wrap around your foot, strap the instep of your right foot. Let's take that right foot long. So rather than high, take it long. No bends in the knee, but don't hyperextend it. You want a little minor bend in the knee. Push through the heel and point the toes back towards your face. Now your foot may be just a few inches off the floor, or you might begin to bring it up a little higher. Try and keep the hip on the ground though. We have a tendency when we take the leg up too high to lift the hip all the way off the floor. So just keep your hips level, push through the heel. That's where you're going to get your stretch through the hamstrings. And then you can keep your left knee bent, or you can lay it long on the floor. Yogi's choice. If you have it long on the floor, flex all the toes back, all 10 toes. And you're trying to reach this left thigh down to the floor. Arms and shoulders relaxed. And breathe. And take both sides of the tie now into the right hand, right leg, right hand. And let's take this leg out to the side a little bit, out to the right, stretching through that inner thigh. Again, pushing through the heel will give you more stretch if you want that. Back to the top. Switch the hand, and now keep both hips level on the ground. You might do that by placing your thumb right in the hip crease, so you can feel if your hip is lifting, pushing through that heel. If you have the knee bent, you can just bring your left left knee towards your right leg. Yep. Back up to the top. Bend your knee and release it. And switch sides. Lengthening out through that left leg now. Pushing through the heel, toes are flexed back towards your face. If you want to lay that right leg long on the floor, you can do that, or you can keep your knee bent. It's nice to have choices. All toes, though, are active. Legs are both active as you're flexing toes back. Relax the shoulder. Release the grip in your jaw if you have one. Take both sides of the tie into that left hand now. And let's take the leg out to the side. Stretching through that inner thigh. And breathe, and breathe, and breathe. Leg comes back up towards the ceiling. Switch the hand, take it over just a little bit. You want to keep the hip level on the ground. My hip lifts and just bring it back. It's a very little move, maybe a half an inch. But if you want to get that stretch down the side of your leg, the IT band, push more through the heel. That'll get it for you. Good. Bring that back up to the top. Bend the knee and release the tie. Now pull both knees into your chest, wrapping your hands around the knees or the shins or the thighs, or you can even use your tie to make your arms longer, like this. Inhale first. As you exhale, pull those knees in a little bit closer to your chest, and as you inhale, let the knees go out. So now you're back to that low back, rocking on the back. One more time. Good. Now release both feet to the floor and roll over to your side. When you get on your side, you can take that top knee over the bottom knee so they don't have to be stacked, but stack your arms. And this is called page turner. Appropriately, we are in the library. On a big inhale, begin to open that top arm. Open, open. Follow it with your eyes as far as you can go. When you can go no farther, take another breath and then exhale. Bring the arm back. So this is done with your own breath. It might be faster or slower than mine. When you're at home and you have a little something that you might want to put under your head, that might make it a little more comfortable for you. Back and forth, opening up through the front of the body. Where we get so tight. As you do this, you might notice that your mobility gets a little bit better. Maybe you can reach your hand all the way to the floor. And maybe save that for another day. next time you close your book, just pause there with your book closed and notice how your shoulder feels, how your pec muscle feels in the front of your chest. Good. And then you can just roll over to the other side. I'll just flip around here. And again, that top knee can be across the bottom knee, or you can have them stacked, whichever feels more comfortable for you. Arms are stacked. And then inhale, begin to open your book. And exhale, close your book. Notice where your arm goes when you first start doing this and see if your mobility changes a little bit. And it's okay if it doesn't, no toxic thoughts here. We're just full of gratitude today. Gratitude for these wonderful bodies that are still doing the things they need to do. Keeping us going. And the next time you close your book, take your time. Pause there. And then we're going to take this up, 2 hands in these tabletop position. You can always pad your knees, put something to pad your knees if this bothers your knees. Arms are under shoulders, knees are under hips. Now spread your fingers so you can see mat in between fingers or floor, whatever you have under you in between your fingers. And we're going to press down through your fingers, especially the mound of the index finger and the thumb. That takes some of the pressure off the wrist. And step your knees back just slightly behind your hips now. And lengthen out without doing cat or cow. Just lengthen out from the crown of your head to the tip of your tail. Look at your toes. Are they going straight back? Are they out to the sides or in? Let's see if we can make them go straight back, right from the hip. And now a gentle inhale, and as you exhale, pull the belly and round the back up. Like right in the mid-back, if you had a bra strap right there, reaching towards the ceiling, and let your head tuck down, let your neck lengthen, and take a breath or two here. And then just come back to neutral tabletop and lengthen out. Skip the cow for now. Just lengthen out from the crown of your head to the tip of your tail again. Get long. Inhale, and as you exhale, pull the belly and round the back up. There's your cat. And then on an inhale, back to neutral tabletop, pressing the floor away with your hands, lengthening out through the spine, and again, pull the belly in into cat. Lengthen out through the spine. Good. Drop your head down. Let your head hang heavy, like a beautiful peach on a tree. Let it just hang there. And we're going to begin to circle the head around. This is a safe position to circle your head. You've got no weight on the neck. Take that the other direction. And bring that back to center. Take the shoulders down away from the ears and begin to turn and look over the right shoulder. And then turn and look over the left shoulder. So you're just moving your neck a little bit side to side. Back stays nice and long. And then let's come down to elbows and release those wrists a little bit. When you come down here and rest on your elbows, just make fist, wiggle your fingers around, shake out your wrist a little bit. And then we're going to go back up to hands and knees. Bringing your knees together. Lengthen out through the right leg, toes on the floor first, and we're just going to go front to back a little bit. Pressing down through the hands again. I'm going to take the weight off the wrist. Good. Bring it to stillness and then lift that right leg to hip level, no higher. Dial that right little toe down towards the floor so your hips stay a little bit level. Pull the belly in. Engage that core. And you can stay here, or you can lengthen out through your left arm. So left arm, right leg. And let's point. Point the toes. And flex. Do it again. Point. And flex. And release it down. And switch to the other side, lengthening out through the left toe stay on the ground. We're going to move front to back a little bit. And then pick up that leg, take it to hip level. Dial those little toes down. When you do that, it levels out the back a little bit. And you can stay here, or if you want to work on balance, right arm goes right out there by your ear with the thumb, reaching towards the ceiling, fingers straight ahead. Good. Point the toes. Engage your belly. Flex your foot. Point the toes. Flex, release, and take your toes together and your knees as wide as your mat or wider than your hips. Set your hips back towards your heels and rest in an extended child's pose. So arms are long, stretching through the side bodies. Hips are back. Gaze right down at the mat. And breathe. Come back up to your hands and knees. Take your hands longer. Turn your toes under in the back. Lift your knees. Keeping your knees bent, lift your hips high in the air for downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then when you get up, you can keep your knees bent as much as you want. Begin to pedal your feet, walk in your dog, right, left. Try to remember whatever position you're in, whether you're standing, sitting, or an inversion like downward dog, to keep your head in line with your spine. let's just hold the dog for a minute. Keep your knees bent as much as you want to. Lengthen up through the arms, pressing through the hands. If your feet never reach the floor, that's fine. Good. And then let little baby steps all the way up to your hands till you're in forward fold. When you get into your forward fold, just keep your knees bent. Let the spine release. Let your neck release. Maybe take your elbows in your hands and shake your head yes or no. Couple of breaths. And then pull your belly and roll your shoulders back together. Lengthen out through the spine and come all the way up to the top with bent knees and a nice long spine, all the way up to mountain pose. Hey, we're up here. So in mountain pose, you want to have your feet grounded, toes straight ahead. They can be hip width apart. You can have your feet together. Knees straight ahead. Engage your core again. Take those shoulders down the back. Yeah. Nice, beautiful posture. Making sure ears are over shoulders, over hips, and over ankles. And breathe. Mountain pose is a basic standing pose for all the other standing poses, but it's also just a great pose all by itself. Great to practice balance. And close your eyes here. Good. Step your feet just a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Little bend in the knees. We're just going to do a little bit of movement here, just because it feels good. And then bring that back to stillness. Little bends in the knees still. Body is nice and relaxed. Turn your palms out. Let's move the shoulders up on an inhale and down on an exhale. And again, this can be done with your own breath. Feeling how the shoulder blades open and close just like wings on a bird or on an angel. I guess angels have wings. All my angels have 4 feet and fluffy tails. Next time you have your arms up, hold them up there. Reaching towards the ceiling, reaching down through your feet. Good. Pull the shoulders up to your ears. Release them down. And again, pull them up. Release them down. One more time. Pull them up. And release them down. Arms all the way back down beside your body. And clasp your hands in the back. Pull those shoulder blades together. If your elbows are still bent, that's fine. You can keep them bent. We're thinking about taking the shoulders back. If you want to lengthen out your arms, do it on an out breath. So it's inhale, exhale down. Inhale, exhale down. And then for anybody that wants to, you can take it over. Try and keep your spine nice and long if you're going to do this. Breathe and breathe. Bring that all the way back up to the top. Release your hands, shake that out. Let's roll one shoulder out at a time. Clasp your hands in the back. Do it the other way this time. The way where it feels like you're holding somebody else's hand. And then maybe begin to lengthen. Take those shoulder blades back. Lift your heart. Lift your sternum. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Notice if one feels different from the other. Good. And again, if you want to take it forward, you can. Keeping the spine long. You're just bending at the hips. Inhale all the way back up. Release it up. Shake it out. Good. Let's do a little moving. So standing at the front of your mat, let's take your arms up towards the sky. Look up towards your hands. With bends in the knees, all fold forward all the way down. Lengthen out through the spine. And then we're going to take this to 90 degrees or halfway up. So you can bring your hands up your legs to your shins or maybe your thighs. Pulling the shoulder blades back. And release it down. Little bend in the knees. Inhale all the way back up to the top. Hands come in front of your heart. And we'll do this again. Inhale. Exhale down. Stretch up, reach up, fold forward. Bring your hands halfway up. All the way down. All the way back up to the top. Hands come in front of your heart. And again, inhale, exhale down. Stretch up, reach up, fold forward. Come up halfway, all the way down, and pause here. Now bend your knees and take a big step back with your right foot, bringing that right knee right to ground. Your left knee should be over your ankle. Look forward. Now walk your hands up to your thigh. Little low lunge here. Maybe take the arms up. Using equipment. Good. Release it back down to the ground. Turn the right toes under in the back. Lift that knee. Step the other foot back until you're in downward facing dog. Breathe. Now step the right foot forward and come down to your left knee. So here we are in the low lunge again. Other side. You can stay with your fingers on the ground. You can walk your hands up to your thigh and maybe take the arms all the way up. Good. Release it down. Bring your hands both sides of the right foot. Turn the toes under in the back. And a big step forward. Forward fold. Come up halfway. All the way down. Inhale all the way back up to the top, bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Good. Inhale, exhale down, stretch your arms up, forward fold. Halfway up, all the way down. Take a big step back with your right foot. Coming up to the toes on the back foot. See if you can keep this back leg lifted as you come up into a high lunge. Maybe bend that back knee so that your hips are right over the knee. Arms up. You can always keep that right knee on the ground. That's fine. Good. Bring the arms all the way back down. Step that front foot to back. Downward facing left. From here, step the right foot forward. Staying on your back toes. Maybe finding your way to your thigh, and then a little bend in the back leg, lifting the torso. Arms up if you want to. These are all just options. Good. Release it all the way back down to the floor. Now step your right foot back and bring both knees to the ground. Walk your hands in front of you. With bent knees, come all the way down to your belly. Lengthen out through your legs. Tuck those elbows into your sides as your hands are placed right under your shoulders for a little cobra here. So you want to pull the belly in, even though you can't see it. You pull the belly in. You squeeze your butt about 50%. Pressing into the tops of the feet, roll the shoulder blades back. Now inhale, lift your head, lift your shoulders. Doesn't have to be very much. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, keeping everything tight, tight, tight. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift. Can you lift your fingers and your hands just a little bit? If you can't, that's okay. Save that till next year. Lower it back down. Push your way back into an extended child's pose. So we've been here before. Knees are wide. Walk your hips back. Rest your hands on your forehead. Or your forehead on your hands. Got that backwards. When you're in child's pose, just let everything go. Let your back stretch and strengthen. Now walk your hands back. Bring both feet to one side of your body and come around and have a seat on your bottom. I hope everybody's doing well. So bring your hands underneath your thighs or your knees. Your feet are on the floor. And roll back just a little bit so you're sitting, if you had pockets in your pants, which some of us do, some of us don't, you would be sitting like on your pockets. And the toes may be lifted a little. Roll the shoulder blades back. Pull your belly and really engage this belly. And then maybe pick up a foot, pick up a foot. Or maybe just pick up one foot. Keep your back nice and long, shoulders engaged. You can stay here or maybe take your arms out beside your legs. Palms, let's take the palms up so we can roll the shoulders back a little better. Yeah. Bring your feet down, bring your hands down. Wrap around your legs. Great yoga pose right here. Just stretching through the back. And we'll do this again. This is called boat pose. Boat. Like what they have out at the lake. Bring your shoulders back. Back nice and long. Lean back. Don't lean back so far that you fall. Lift the leg. Lift the leg. Good time to check out your toes. See that they're all working. Take your arms out if you want to. Or if you've got hip flexor issues, it's okay. Just hold right here. One more breath. Bring your legs down. Stretch out over your knees. Good. And then release it down. Lengthen out through both legs. And walk your hips back so that you're sitting up on sits bones, or if you have something to place under your hips to lift you a little higher, like a pillow or a towel, you can set that right under there, and that will keep your hips lifted a little higher. Lengthen out through both arms and roll your shoulder blades back. Take a nice, easy inhale, and as you exhale, we're just going to lean out over those legs. Not down, just out. And inhale back. And exhale out. And inhale back. And exhale out. Don't get dizzy. Inhale back. One more time. Exhale out. Hold, hold, hold. And then reach down, keeping that spine nice and long. Reach down to wherever you can touch. It's always okay to keep these knees bent too. So you might be able to touch your calves or your ankles, maybe your toes. Just breathe. Good. And then inhale all the way up. Let's bend the right knee and bring it in close to your hip. Step it across that long leg. Wrap the left arm around the right knee. That right arm comes up and around and back. Lengthen out through the spine. See if you can keep that right foot flat on the floor. It's hard to do. As you inhale, lengthen, and as you exhale, it's just a little twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Good. Back to the center. Release it down. Other side. Knee comes in. Step it across that bottom leg. And the right arm wraps around the left knee. Top arm comes up and around. Help lengthen out through your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Good. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Good. All the way back to center. Lengthen out through your legs. Let's bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out, inbound angle. Don't force your knees, never force your knees. Just sit up nice and tall. Or you can even take your hands behind you, lifting your torso up a little bit. And then with your hands, carefully bring your knees back in together. And without ado, make yourself down to your back. And pull both knees back into your chest. Rock across your back. Maybe take that to some circles. And circle the other direction. I know some of you out there are just dying to do a happy baby, so happy baby reaching up to get the outside edges of your feet or the inside edges of your feet. And your shins are vertical. Taking your tailbone back down towards the mat. And you can rock your happy baby too, if you like. I won't sing to you. Not today. Maybe next time. And then release that all the way down and find a way that you can be really comfortable for a few minutes. Lengthening out through the legs. If you have your legs long, make sure they're about as wide as the mat. If you have your knees bent, let your knees drop in towards one another so they support each other. And you're laying flat on your low back. Tuck your shoulder blades under, arms out away from your body with the palms facing up. We say palms facing up to receive the gifts. Gifts from the universe. Close your eyes and rest. Try not to fidget and try not to skip your Shavasana, your final relaxation. Release your jaw. Soften your belly. If you have the time, feel free to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you want. In normal practice, we try and stay for 20%, so 12 minutes if we're going for an hour. But nobody wants to see me lay here for 12 minutes. You can begin to deepen your breaths. Making little movements with your fingers and your toes. Rocking your head side to side. And when you feel ready, bend one knee at a time and roll to your side, can be either side. Lying on your side for a few breaths. And then using your arm strength, push your way up to a comfortable seated position. Sitting cross-legged or in any position that feels good to you. Nice long spine, head over heart, heart over pelvis. And bring your hands together in front of your heart, with your thumbs touching your heart space, bowing your head slightly, offering yourself a little bit of gratitude for taking the time, making the effort to give yourself the gift of yoga. I thank everybody who's out there, whether you're practicing with me or just laughing at me, for being here. It is truly an honor to be a part of your life, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for the library for allowing us to do that. The light in me sees and honors the light in you by saying namaste. Great. So this will be the last week of the video, Facebook Live, but so excited. Next week we're going to take it outdoors, real live yoga. So please come, bring your own stuff, bring your mat, bring a tie, or whatever you want to make yourself comfortable. We will keep distance from each other, so we won't be hugging, unfortunately. It's always good to wear a mask if you're around people. If the weather is bad, there will be no yoga, so use your own judgment with that. Don't, if it's storming out, I'm not going to be here. So, hope to see you all outside next week. Also, there will be yoga Wednesday evening, am I right? Wednesday evening with Bev will be out there, out in the front of the library on the High Street side at 5:30. It's going to be hot yoga, probably. Thank you all for being here.